For a warm and fuzzy human, Culber has very cold hands. Sometimes the early bird eats the worm, sometimes the Tranceworm eats the Orion. And as Saroo would say, let's hit it then. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Seventh Rule with Cirroc, Lofton.
Hello.
My name is Ryan T. Husk. I'm kind of losing my voice. Bear with me. That's why we have very special guest MALISSA Longo today.
Hello.
Actually, we have her anyway, but she's still going to save the day for us. Today, we are reviewing Discovery Season 3, Episode 8, Sanctuary, The Sanctuary, directed by Mr. Jonathan Frakes. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Okay.
Yeah. Sanctuary, Jonathan Frakes, huh? He is just racking up director credits. He's got to be the all-time director of Star Trek.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But this wasn't my favorite episode.
I could tell you were really just going, can somebody else say something about
it? I'm going to get right into it. Wasn't my favorite episode, right off top.
Well, then let's talk about something else right off the top. First of all, please go check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/the7th-rule. That's the 7th rule. You can also subscribe to this channel, support us that way, like, share, comment. That helps us a ton. Also, we're talking about, this is kind of like LGBTQ week for us. We had the scene with Adira, or a couple of them, with Adira, a female Adira. And we also have the episode Rejoined, which is Dax's same-sex kiss, which blew up the internet in the 90s when there really wasn't any internet. And we're releasing that on Sunday, so look forward to that. We are also, this weekend, a part of two conventions, LGBTQ conventions, Lambda Quadrant's Holocon and Gaze in Space, The Wrath of Vegas. So check those out this weekend. We're part of those. And this weekend and this week are awesome. I'm done talking for the next 45 minutes. Go.
All right. And to pick up where we're going to pick up right here where Melissa's going to pick up with me.
Right. We're going to pick it up right now with you.
No, it's funny because did you say a holocon? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, like the holodeck.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of a different holo.
I know. Gotta be careful with that one.
I know, and I was maybe not the best choice of words, but okay, we'll just let that slide. Yeah, man, sounds good to me, and we're definitely celebrating, freedom of choices in life, and this is one of the episodes where, we get a little bit of that as well. We get somebody standing up for themselves and saying how they would like to be identified, and I thought that was a kind of a poignant moment because we don't get enough of that. And she stood up for herself and let it be known, this is how I'd like to be addressed. And I think Stamets kind of respect her for that. He kind of processed it. He's like, oh, okay, you're challenging what how I'm referring to you, and then he actually had a different level of respect because she stood up for herself.
What do you think about? I guess we'll just jump right into that scene. So, Adira says that they now want to be addressed as they, them, their. I believe that's probably what the actor feels too. I don't know. I haven't looked into that. So we'll see how that all pans out. But I'm sure people will know, and they can let us know in the comments. But obviously, Culber and Stamets are probably the people that are closest with Adira on the ship. So they're the right people to, discuss this kind of stuff with, not just because they're part of the LGBTQ community, but also because they're in close proximity, and Stamets is becoming kind of like a father figure or, a mentor to Adira. I think it seems that's kind of the direction they're taking it. What do you think, Melissa?
Well, it kind of feels like that Stamets and Culber are kind of adopting Adira in a way.
You're right. That's so cute.
It kind of feels like that, and the way that they discussed Adira while they were sleeping, so to speak, was really cute. Like two parents concerned about their kids. So it kind of seems like that they're adopting them in a way, which I like. I like that.
That would be so cute. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things that we saw established early was the fact that Stamets had a respect for Adira's mind and what she was capable of accomplishing, her level of education or knowledge of what was going on around her. So I think that was the first thing that attracted, Stamets to Adira, like, who is this very fascinating young person that's smarter than me kind of thing, right? Even though I won't admit that you're smarter than me, but and so that was the initial kind of groundbreaking attraction for them to build a relationship on. And yes, I would say that I agree with what you're saying, Melissa, as far as how Culber and Stamets kind of had their conversation about her and like, hey, what do you think? And I thought that was an intimate conversation, an insight on how they analyze and psychoanalyze their crewmates. And so then you did get to see that they addressed that there was this kind of attachment or this feeling of a connection between the two of them, which now even gets expanded farther. And I think once again I mentioned earlier that I thought Stamets had a level of respect for Adira, and I think that that respect was even solidified in these kinds of conversations, in this conversation of her standing up for herself, also just because he respects how intelligent they are.
Yeah, I just keep picturing the three of them as a family. I think that would be the cutest thing in the world. I swear.
It's cute. It is cute. I mean, they seem pretty protective of Adira's, and that's really sweet to see. And it feels natural. It doesn't feel forced. It's not like. Well, I don't know. I liked that moment between Stamets and Culber in that scene.
I like all moments between Stamets and Culber, honestly. I feel like, Culber is one of my favorite characters, always has been. And I think that the moments that the two of them have together oftentimes are the most Star Trek moments. Like when they're in engineering, there's a lot of technobabble. When they're on the bridge, there's a lot of bridge talk. When they're on away missions, but every once in a while when they have like these little meetings between Jet and Stamets, or Culber and Stamets, or Culber and Georgiou, they have like these nice little, two-person meetings that are very much like Star Trek. I don't remember. There was a scene that felt very much like Star Trek in this episode, and I don't remember what it was. It certainly wasn't when I was like,
when Tilly, the name of the suggestions of for Saroo, was that the one you were going to reference?
No, but I thought that was funny. I liked it, and I think probably directing Jonathan Frakes did a good job of getting good reactions when he says like execute, and they're all kind of like, oh, kind of like that. But then later on when Saroo says carry on, and they're like, and Michael's like,
Oh, that works.
Yeah.
Those were perfect reactions. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I did like when Billy said, hit it!
When somebody says hit it like that, you've got to say na 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 na.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah. That would have been nice for them all to break out into that together.
Oh, that would be fun.
But yeah, Saroo picked a bad time to try out his work. Like, we're under fire. We got a big mission here. Do that on like, when we're going on a cupcake run. When we're going to get some donuts, then you can use your try out your expressions, but not when it's a life and death moment, because then everybody's like, all right, you got to rally the troops.
Well, and it's got to be a little bit stronger than carry on.
Carry on, yeah. That's
well, Saroo is very eloquent and dignified. He's not a yeller.
Of course,
Melissa, he's not a yeller. He's a distinguished gentleman.
Yes,
who happens to like a Vulcan president.
Well, he's got good taste.
Yes.
So I'm gonna push the envelope here, guys. There was something where it's one of those things where if you were on set, you're worried that maybe you would be the guy laughing. But there was a moment when, towards the end, where Saroo is talking to Bryce, and then Booker and Michael walk in. They both walk into the bridge, right? Booker and Michael. And Saroo goes, "Welcome back to the bridge, Mr. Booker. Black alert." Just like,
yeah.
I'm like, I can't be the only person to know. He's like, he sees Michael and Booker walking. He's like, "Oh, welcome back to the bridge. Black alert, everybody."
Oh, yeah. The famous Black Alert line. I told you I need a T-shirt that says it. Black Alert. It's one of my favorite alerts. The Black Alert.
Yeah. And then, of course, I had to shout out to our good friend, Mr. Rico E. Anderson. I had to mention it to him this morning, and he had a few things to add to it too. But we took it a few steps farther. I think we should leave it right there. But he did say, yeah, anytime there's more than two of us that walk into a room, people get on edge.
Yeah, we hear that. We hear that a lot. So that's me and Rico used to the Black Alert. That might be new for you, Ryan, but we hear it a lot. When you show up somewhere and you're just a little bit out of place, you'll feel the Black Alert bat signal go up.
How do you feel about that, Melissa?
I didn't notice it.
I noticed everything that might even be the slightest bit racially aimed. I'm like,
anything you can squeeze humor out of, Ryan. You're looking for the humor nuggets everywhere you can. Oh man.
Anyway,
you know what? You know why I didn't like this episode, and I'm gonna get right into it. And this is no knock on anybody, but I just feel like they didn't cast Osira properly.
Yes.
And I don't know if anybody else felt that, but I'm like, she's the main villain in this, and she's like a golden, like the mom from Golden Girls, the old one from Golden Girls is more scary than she is.
You're wording it more strongly than I would, but I
was thinking the same thing.
I noticed something too.
It doesn't scare me at all. I was very underwhelmed by Osira.
Yeah.
And who she was. I was I was expecting the intendant of some
sort.
sort,
The intendant. Yeah. Something that was just devious and coy and sharp and malicious. Like, she cut off my antenna years ago. Who knows what she'll do next? Like,
yeah. Well, we're gonna find out. It was a culinary accident.
Yeah.
She was doing her cooking show, and she accidentally cut off his antenna.
And I have a question about that. Actually, having just finished Enterprise, aren't Andorian antennae supposed to grow back?
Yep. His are slow.
Oh,
slow growth.
Yes.
Slow.
Very slow.
For an evolved Andorian.
But yeah, I think the reason that we were possibly underwhelmed by her, and there's no knock on the actress, of course, at least
no
not
knock
on my part,
on her.
But it's just that they set her up for 8 episodes to be the big shit of the show.
Yeah.
And then they go, dun, 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 here she is. And it's Lucy from around the corner, She's just like, hey, so what, nephew, what's up? How's it going? Okay, I'm gonna kill you. It was just
and as many villains as we've had, Giorgio is tougher than her. Giorgio kicks ass and grinds balls, right?
Kaiwin. Oh my gosh,
Kaiwin, yeah.
Carrier.
The Intendant. I mean, the list goes on and on of just like badass. Yeah. Kate Mulgrew, when she wants to kick somebody's ass, it comes across,
Yeah.
Captain Janeway's. I just felt like I was like, this is the person everybody's scared of. This is even the guy Booker's brother in this episode. Like he looked like the leader of the Colombian cartel. In one of these movies. He's scared of this girl. Like he looks like he can kick ass and do whatever he wants.
Well, and he also showed that he could kick ass too. He and Booker had some good fights.
Yeah, and he's got a gang of his little crew. So for him to be whimpering in fear, if she had some kind of device or some kind of animal with her or something that like, don't make me send my little pit bull after you and tear you up, or
My
some
flying
kind of
monkeys.
Yeah,
some futuristic something, or I don't know, just
drones. She's no Borg queen.
Well, this might be one of those cases in which we find out later why they cast her, because that'll happen to me a lot of times where I'm kind of like, oh yeah, this actor's okay or this person's okay, and then I watch the whole series and it's not until the final episode where I go, oh, now I know why they picked this guy, or now I know, because there's like this powerful scene that they have or something like that. And you say, okay, clearly this was part of their auditioning process because this is why they picked him. So I'm hoping that maybe somewhere down the line we see something out of that character that's really big, really cool, or really good. And we say, okay, that's why they picked her.
Yeah, I just feel like for the big reveal, it should have been... It was like, okay, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this.
You wanted tassels?
No, but it was like, and it was the time I was still eating meat, but having In-N-Out for the first time, I was like, this is what everybody's raving about? Come on.
You watch your mouth.
I know. People are going to be like, In-N-Out's great.
I've been vegetarian for 10 years and I'll still say In-N-Out's pretty solid. I wouldn't eat it now. It probably sounds disgusting.
I was just like, it's a glorified McDonald's. So
you're basically saying the hype was bigger than the real thing, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. It was very underwhelmed, unfortunately.
Talk quietly and carry a big stick.
No, I mean there's elements of that, and you don't have to be loud or physically menacing to be intimidating. I think that you just have to play it in a certain way, like, or like, I fear that you might do anything. You look unpredictable, and she seems so plain and very predictable in the way she was portraying this particular character. No knock on the actress. I think it's a decision on casting's part to go that direction. And Ryan, to what your point, which is, okay, maybe later on down the line, there's a scene that she had auditioned, and we say, oh, that's why she just nailed this scene, and that's probably what she did in the audition room to get this job. I was waiting for that moment the entire time as I was watching this. I was like, it's going to come around. Here it comes. There's going to be a scene that's going to just open my eyes and say, oh shit, you got it wrong, Cirroc. This girl's like the main villain on Game of Thrones, right? I thought, okay, this is going to be something completely different. But no, it wasn't. It was very disappointing. It was soft. It was just too soft for me. And I'm thinking, you have all the toughest guys in the galaxy. You have all these really badass characters that are living like renegades.
Living like a renegade?
Yeah, they go out, they steal stuff, they take your dilithium. They're basically like what was that? Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
We're watching the futuristic Mad Max of Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Where even Book was one of these kind of Mad Max type guys that goes out and does whatever he has to do to make ends meet and keep, but it just feels like, okay, all these tough renegade rebellious type people, and they're scared of this really not intimidating, really soft person who's soft spoken. Maybe she had a team of guys around her, or some extra prop or element to her character that, because she has the orb of death or something, you can't get touched close to her, something like that. You know what I mean?
Something where you don't know, if you say the wrong thing, oh no, I'm going to get eaten by a transform. But
Cirroc, what do you know about orbs anyway?
I know a lot about Bajoran orbs, I can tell you that.
Stay tuned for that reference on Gaze in Space Trekkie Feud.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little inside future joke. Won't be funny till later. But yeah, I just felt like there was an extra element that was missing, or just a performance-wise, it could have picked a different person who was just going to be more tough. This lady was super, super. I was like, she must be Canadian because she's so friendly and nice. She can't be mad even if she wanted to be.
Kill him with kindness.
Yeah, but that transworm, though, I mean, getting locked in a room with one of those is not something that you want.
Well, she's also a liar, because she said, what's the big deal? No problem. They just look into your eyes or something like that. And then the worm ate them. And you're like, they don't just look at you, they eat people.
Yeah. Poor transworms. They're being abused.
Yeah.
I'm sure
what was
so many people if they weren't so abused?
I felt like they used some kind of technology to transport him from wherever he was into there, other than a beaming technology.
The individual transporter thing, but the Federation has too.
Yeah, it's their updated tech now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, it just missed an element for me, and that was one of the main reasons why this episode was flat to me. That was the thing, because the build up didn't match. I thought Osira was going to come in like the Persian god from 300,
Or
Xerxes.
Cersei from Game of Thrones, even. I mean, just she didn't, raise her voice or yell or all this other stuff.
I think Cersei's like the best character and the best written character, best acted character I possibly have ever seen on television. So it's a high bar. It's a tough one.
Yeah,
well, I mean, you're not going to get that for a guest star on one episode of Discovery, but something along those lines. That's all. It just
right
along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, you got that out of Louise Fletcher, who was a guest star.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Giorgio is tougher than that on like a Tuesday, like Tuesday for breakfast.
True. Yeah. You just don't know when you're gonna hit the wrong note with her.
Speaking of which, what do you guys make of Giorgio and her visions and her death rattle and all what's going on with all that stuff?
Don't know yet. I am curious to see what's happening, and it looked like there was a younger version of herself in one of her visions. And I don't know whose body she's standing over either with the blood.
I have to say that she is really consistent about being tough with everybody. She's not just tough with one person. She's tough with everybody across the board. I like that about her performance. I thought she looked spectacular in the all-white medical outfit.
Yeah.
I think she looked all white.
No, she looked all right. And
oh man.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that, guys. Apologize.
Melissa, I don't know if I deserved a 20-second laugh for that.
Sure.
Black alert. All right.
Oh my gosh. Was it 20?
No, but I thought she looked stunning in that outfit. She looked amazing. And also, I did kind of like the interplay between her and Colbert, where he was like, all right, look, you're not going to play games with me. Like you can do all your little psychological stuff, but you want to live or do you want to die? You decide. And I thought that was like the trump card for that argument, where she was like, all right, I'll surrender to your will.
Yeah, I do like that they seem to be chipping away at all of her walls and all of her aggressive, stay away from me emotionally because I'll kill you things.
Yeah.
And
If they were Native Americans, they'd be Chippewa.
Anyway, I like the interactions between her and Colbert as well. And I think he's making some little dents in her wall.
But I do think that there's something about the visions is going to be heavily tied into the future storyline.
Yeah.
I think that it will reveal why she has come along on this journey, because there's not really a good explanation to why she's here. She didn't really have to take the leap with the rest of the guys, I don't think. And I think she has a purpose that is going to be exposed in these revelations.
Yeah, and I think it has to do with that guy with the glasses, because I think he has something to do with Section 31. But and I don't know where I read that, but it makes sense that he would have a glimpse of the past and know who she is and all of this information about the Terrans, and it has something to do with Section 31, and I have no idea what, but this is my guess too.
Yeah,
it's a good thought. So we got to say goodbye to Tolar, who was Osira's nephew. I've got a song for Osira, but I can't sing it today. So stay tuned next week for the song that Osira makes Ryan think of, if she pops up ever again, which I'm sure she will. Try to guess in the in the comments section and in the chat. What's the song that Ryan's going to sing next week?
Give us the genre. We need
Osira. I mean, the genre is pop. I think it's probably the decade's probably 80s.
80s pop. Okay.
Does it have with ABBA?
No, 17 questions left.
Anyway. No, we want to see, I think Osira is she said the chain, right? She's in charge of this chain.
The Emerald Chain, right? That's the Orions and the Andorians, yeah.
And she said the full force of the chain is going to come down on you, or something to that degree, right? So I'm almost suspecting that, in like was in the case with the Dominion, where there were multiple players involved, and it wasn't just the Jemadar or the Vorta. It was also, it was all of these players involved. I'm suspecting that she's not the top of that food chain.
Interesting. Good point.
Yeah, I'm suspecting that she is just, one of the players, and maybe she answers to something else, some other nefarious force that's behind her. Because, the Orion girl by herself is not enough for me to be in charge of this intergalactic chain that's oppressing everybody across the quadrant. I just don't see that. I feel like there's something else behind her that will be revealed as being the ones really being the puppet masters behind the scene.
That's a good thought.
Yeah. I mean, they have 5 episodes left, so they better introduce whoever that is. We do know somebody that's below her, and that was the dude that was introduced in maybe like the 2nd episode. The guy that was also in Homeland, I forgot his name. Amazing actor. I thought he was fantastic, and he was kind of in that old West saloon kind of scene, but he was certainly fearful of her. Yeah, of Home Shopping Network Jane. What's her name? Osira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a badass guy too. Another guy that was way tougher than the person that they're saying they're afraid of.
Well, again, we got to see what makes him cool. I mean, they gave him the big introduction. He came in. It was really good, really well done, and he nailed it. I think and hope that we're still going to see what makes Osira so glorious. And if we don't, oh well.
Yeah.
I guess alluding to again because I just finished watching Enterprise, and the Orion women, it was revealed, were the ones who were actually in charge, because they had this hold over men with their pheromones.
Earmuffs, Cirroc. Spoilers.
Sorry.
I've already been put under the spell, so I already know this to be true.
So, my guess would be that would be part of why they would be so afraid of her, but I still didn't get that from this episode.
You know, Melissa is totally like, have you ever seen somebody that just learned a new word and then they try to bring up that word like every 3 minutes? They're like, oh, I don't understand that. Can you please elucidate what you just said? Yes, just go ahead and elucidate it for me. I just need a little bit of elucidation. And she's like, that reminds me of Enterprise. And so does this. And in Enterprise, actually.
Fresh still. So, and
it's when it's fresh in your head, yeah.
No,
another
awesome.
thing that I didn't quite wrap my head around, and somebody may have to explain this to me a little bit better, but for some reason, the Andorian Rin, who got his antlers cut off,
his antennae.
It's the holiday season, so we can use antlers.
And his red nose.
But, so he gave an explanation in this episode saying something to the effect of, the reason why Osira hates me so much is because I know that she's running out of dilithium, right? Or the chain is running out of dilithium. Yeah, so one dude, first of all, this is like a chain that goes around everywhere collecting dilithium. So I'm sure that the entire dilithium supply is not processed in front of him, that he would know. But number one, that. Number two, nobody else could be observant to figure that out and say, hey, notice there was a lot less dilithium come around lately. So just the fact that like that's the one secret bit of knowledge that he has, that she's chasing him around the galaxy or trading, that doesn't hold water to me. There's got to be something else there.
Well, maybe it is kind of what you alluded to, that she is working for somebody else, and she's the one who's in charge of the dilithium, and she's the one who knows that they're running out because of one source or another. They're not producing as much as they were previously. So now she knows that they're running out of dilithium, and so she's afraid for her own life. Because she's responsible for that. So I mean, if she's answering to somebody else, or it just means that the hold that she has over the people who rely on the dilithium will realize that, there's not any more. I don't know.
My one qualm with that was that I was thinking, if he's the only one that knows about this weakness, and she's a terrible tyrant, why did she just cut off his horns? Why didn't she just kill him?
Right.
I mean, if he's the only one that knows her weakness, somebody that's a big bad villain would just kill him, be like, oh, hurry up and kill him. This is important. Kill him quick.
Right, unless he had something that she needed up until that point that she didn't kill him for.
By the way, though, we are happy that the actor, I forgot his name, that is playing Rin, got the role of Rin because that's actually Mary Wiseman's husband. So, and he's a big Star Trek fan, big D&D fan. So he's a big nerd like us. So I'm sure they've been keeping an eye out for a role that would fit him. So that's really cool that he got that role. Yeah, really awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Great that they had a scene at the end together too. Oh, that's so cute.
Where she went,
Yeah, I like that. That's a nice little nugget of information there. The cat and the Andorian sitting in the tree. Somebody.
He's like, somebody finish this.
Somebody.
Didn't work for me.
It did not work for me, and neither did.
Cute.
I'm sorry. What's the pilot girl's name?
Worried about the cat.
Kayla Detmer.
Okay, so another nitpick of mine.
Ooh, where's your tie, Cirroc?
I know, I got to get one, right?
You have to wear your Picard tie if you're going to nitpick.
What? Oh.
I'm going to have my nitpick belt, okay? And my nitpick belt says, if Detmer, is that her name, Detmer?
Mm-hmm.
If Detmer's on a mission to go blow up Osira's ship, and she's with this Andorian Rin, then why would she go into this whole long monologue about this is how I used to fly ships? And it got into a very long monologue moment and didn't have the sense of urgency for me that they are about to blow up this woman's ship and they got to get it done in a small window of time.
Kind of like that one time where Dax was it Dax? Where Dax was in a shuttlecraft with somebody, remember? And they're going into like the wormhole to save the day. And they're just like hanging out, they're relaxed. Everything was cool. Yeah. What I noticed in that scene, my nitpick about that scene was that she kept looking at him. I'm like, you could be dying. It's kind of like when I'm watching a TV show or movie, and the person that's driving spends 90% of the time going, "Oh, you think?" I'm like, "Who's driving, dude?" Oh, you think that?
Yeah.
The road, and it kind of felt like it was they were using this manual flying of the ship to get her out of her funk, which felt like too easy of a fix for me.
Good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Like she's found her confidence again, but it just felt too easy.
Right. And Cirroc, that you were saying how you want the bridge characters, or we were all saying we want the bridge characters to get more development, and Kayla's definitely the one that has the most development because she was in it from the very beginning on the ship with Giorgio and Saroo and Michael on the Shenzhou. So she's definitely the prime candidate out of those four. We also saw a little bit more from Lieutenant Nilsson, who is Sarah Middich, who also played Ariam in the first season. So we got a little bit more of her. But anyway, what were we going to say?
Just the energy in that scene wasn't right for me. Also, for Rin's part, he was a little bit too concerned about the cat while their life is on the line, and like, what is this? What is that? Like, okay, you guys are about to die, and if you don't die,
and you're talking about a cat.
yeah, like that's, and then she's having a conversation like, this is how I like to fly, and I'm like, okay, guys, seriously. Let's have this conversation at breakfast tomorrow. Not in the middle of the moment when you need to do this kind of like.
Well, you should have seen that. Oh, speak of the devil, look who's calling, our buddy Rico Anderson.
Rico.
So, Rico, we're recording here, but I told everybody what you said about Black Alert.
Said about Black Alert? Dude, I just saw the episode. That shit was hilarious. So, like, nonchalant. Nice to have you on board, Black Alert.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about it a little later. That's hilarious. All right, later.
Give me a buzz.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I paid him to say that.
I wish I paid attention to that. That would have been great. That would have been great.
I rewound it like
laughed
3
out
times.
of that.
Around it.
Anyway,
That's funny. Yeah, but yeah, I love the cat so much, but I think it was a distraction in the scene, and I was concerned for the cat, saying this poor cat has a potential of being blown up. And if it was this scared, which it would be, it probably would have run and hid somewhere rather than jump up on somebody else.
unless it's a changeling.
Unless it's a changeling.
I don't know about that one. But we did find out that Linus has his own brand of cheddar cheese.
Okay.
Cheddar cheese.
Yes. That's all I have for the rest of this episode.
Thank goodness. Now I needed somebody to make my bad jokes not seem so bad anymore.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm doing for you, man. See what a teammate does?
I appreciate
Team player.
Taking one for the team
that's
there.
a good friend right there.
So it seems like Cirroc, you said that this was not one of your favorite episodes. We've definitely had a few things that we can laugh at in this episode, which is fun. But what did you guys specifically love about the episode? I mean, I actually liked it when Saroo is picking out his catchphrase. I thought that was fun. That was cute. And I love Doug Jones, and he acts it well. And, I thought all of that was well delivered. I liked that Detmer got a little bit more character development. I liked that in that scene with Detmer and Rin, you said that they weren't taking it seriously enough, but I saw in the previous edit, they were actually playing Sudoku, but they cut that out to really add the intensity. So I like that they did that. That was a good choice. I don't know. What do you guys like?
I really liked the interaction with, well, can I just say I really love Michael and Book's relationship. I really enjoy this very much. Just because it feels really natural, and they're figuring things out, and while the universe is exploding, but and I love Book's brother's kid, and his reaction to Linus, and
when he said "ew,"
yes! Ew, I love that too.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
her interaction with the kid too was really nice. There's a lot of good nuggets too.
Yeah, I do like Melissa, what you were talking about, Book and Burnham's relationship. I think it's special. There's moments there, for example, when Book was fighting with his brother, and she was holding the rifle in her hand, and she had a choice. She was like, let him fight. They are brothers, and I can't kill the guy. You know what I mean? So she was kind of letting it happen until she saw that his life was in danger with the knife on his throat, right? And then she's like, drop it or something. I kind of like those moments. I like that they were called the sea locusts. I thought the effect of the sea locust inside of that garden landscape was kind of a little special to me. I liked it. Took me away, made me feel like I was somewhere else. So that was well executed, in my opinion. Also, like Giorgio a lot in this episode. I thought she's playing this. Something's bothering her really well, and I think she's doing a fantastic job with that. I don't know where it's going to go, but I like it. And I have to agree with you, Ryan, as well. What you were talking about.
Finally.
Yeah, finally, I will agree with you. Doug Jones, he's playing this part of him trying to find his way out into the captain's seat and find his own identity really well. I like that, and I also like that they gave him we finally got to see some of the effects of an alien's abilities, and this particular alien ability that he had was able to listen to that song and isolate where the vibration was coming from. I thought that's something that they don't really do enough of in Star Trek, which is we know we have aliens, but what kind of special sensitivities or abilities do they have, like observing sound in a different way? I thought that was a good.
Yeah, that's a great point, because the more they demonstrate how different the aliens are, the more we can accentuate when they have a common feeling or a common theme or a common teamwork. If everybody is, kind of, homogenous, of everybody's kind of the same, it doesn't hit as much as if everybody is so very different. You have Michael, who's a rogue, Tilly, who's a weirdo. Well, no, Stamets is more of a weirdo. Saroo, who's got, crazy ears. But if they all kind of come together for this common theme, it kind of gives a little bit more oomph, I think.
Right. And it demonstrates why IDIC is so important, so that every difference in every different alien race and their abilities comes together to make the universe a better place, for everyone, not just Osira. So I like when they explore the different aspects of different aliens as well, because of that reason, because everyone has their own strengths, and if everything's like this, then we don't get that juicy color, the juicy flavors of the universe. The universe isn't one note, and it shouldn't be portrayed that way.
Succulent. Yeah. I also like that when I write Orions in my notes, it autocorrects to onions. So I like that too. The autocorrect is always crazy.
A couple of other things that I liked. I want to just go back to what you were saying about.
There were other aliens like what you mentioned that we also saw, which was Booker and Kaihim also demonstrated, just to add to what you were saying. Go on.
Right, as empaths and their forehead lighting up. Yeah. But I was going to mention that when Saroo was testing out his catchphrase for, engaging, I like that he was taking inventory of how everybody else was responding too. And the way he did that was authentic. Yeah, it was authentic to me. I thought he was looking around like, okay, I guess that's not going to work. And I love that. And one other thing, at the very end, Book and his brother were saying kind of goodbye to each other. And his brother said, "Don't say brother, that's corny." And then he gives him a thing, and then he says, "Later, brother," which is what your brother would do. The exact thing that you have to not do.
Booker was like, "I wasn't going to say brother," and then that's when he drops the ball on him. Yeah,
I like that. I like that moment. Made me laugh a little bit.
Yeah, that's good.
Good moment too. And I wanted to say I really liked the sea locust too, and the way they dealt with the sea locust. They didn't go and try and blow them all up. They tried to relocate them back to their natural habitat, which I really enjoyed that part too.
So everybody in the comments section below and in the live chat, tell us what you think Saroo's catchphrase should be, because this is really the question of the season here. It could be one that he's already tried out. If you think Carry On My Wayward Son is his way to go, cool. If you like Execute instead, fine. Make one up. Do you want him to say, giddy up? Or do you want him to say, like, have at it, boys and girls? Or I don't know. Whatever.
No. I think
we can eliminate those already.
Yeah. Come on.
Go already. Go.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
So yeah, let us know your thoughts, because I want to know what everybody's thoughts are. Because maybe he'll pick one of those, or maybe the rest of the season they're just going to keep coming up with new ones.
Right.
He might just be like, I'm going to test out. Watch this, Tilly. I got a good one. Check this out. And then he says, okay, whatever, do the thing. He goes, engage. And they go, oh, are you going to tell him? Yeah. No, you tell him. What do you think? Engage, guys? Engage?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work, but that's been used already. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Saroo ends up settling on, but he's definitely kind of, finding his rhythm. Another thing that we got to see was his decision making. He was a little bit more willing to go rogue in this particular episode. So I think a little bit of Burnham is rubbing off on him. You see him like, they're like, oh, well, Starfleet is doing this. He's like, well, this technically Starfleet, and he's making up a reason for why he should do whatever he's going to do.
Which reminds me, that's what the part was that I thought was the most Star Trek written thing of the episode, was when Tilly made the suggestion that, well, what if a very bad officer went rogue and then we had to reprimand that officer very strongly for going rogue? That is good writing. It's good Star Trek writing, because we got exactly what she meant. It was all subtext laid on super thick deliberately, and it obviously was perfectly delivered by Mary Wiseman. That, to me, that part gets an A+. I like that kind of writing. I think that is perfect Star Trek writing. I think it's good television writing all around, and that's, for me, that was the best line, best part.
Yeah. And it wasn't. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Never mind.
Aww.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, there was moments, for example, when Saroo was asking to bring up Osira on the communication channel. Just before he brought her up, he whispered over and said, "Hey, make sure that Book and Michael get out of there before this and that and do their thing." And then he said, "Okay, you guys go on." So he's already like setting in motion certain plans before he goes. And then the reason for going on and addressing her directly was because of this diplomacy and diplomatic observation mission that he was on for Starfleet. So he was making sure to balance trying to stay true to his mission and his orders, but also balance breaking those rules and those orders at the same time. That's what I like. I like that conflict that those captains are always put into in these kinds of predicaments, where they have to both follow orders and not follow orders at the same time.
Totally. That's totally Star Trek, the moral dilemmas and the walking the fine line between what you're supposed to do and what you should do, and everything in between. Did we buy you enough time to get your train of thought back, Melissa?
Well, it kind of works into that, but it's gone. But yes, walking that fine line while, oh gosh.
We're almost out of time, Melissa.
I lost it again. Walking that fine line. Oh,
Focus.
Man.
Focus.
Yeah.
Did it have something to do with Cirroc's cheddar cheese joke?
No, not at all.
Totally blew it all out.
That just made it worse.
It's gone.
Yeah.
No, it was walking that fine line and that dilemma while I forgot where I was going with it.
Well, that's okay. We'll take a quick commercial break so that I can talk about the chat pack. Shout out to the chat pack right here. This is, look how cool that is. Brilliantly designed. That is a Melissa Longo creation that you can get at walkingartmadebymelissa.com. We will include the link in the description box below. And a lot of people have already begun ordering that because that's us. That's the chat pack. That's all of our people. The Ferengi front and center. We know who that is. Coolest person in the world. Anyway, it's a really cool shirt. Walking Art made by Melissa.
In the background, you got Bajorans on there.
A Bajoran, a Trill, a Klingon, a Cardassian, a Vulcan, and a human.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Trying to get as many aliens represented as possible. So.
Nice.
That's great.
So, actually, it's actually just one alien race out of all those. They're just all happen to be changelings. So, that's the rumor I heard. Anyway, so we'll include that in the description box below, because that's really cool shirt, really cool stuff. I think that's about it for us today. Stay tuned next week where Melissa remembers what she was going to say.
I'll remember.
Yeah, hop in, Cirroc.
Also, just a little for future reference, I want to see that if the music, all those music references with her playing the cello or the instrument, those, if they will mean something even more going on, or if that riddle has just been solved in this episode and there's no more to it.
I'm sure it's all connected. Yeah.
In the middle of the nebula, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's a Federation ship, right?
Right. So we're looking forward to that.
Sir.
But I just need a little bit more information on why, let's say, for example, Gray would be playing this song. Where is the background to why everybody was hearing this song? That's what I want to know.
No, that's a good point. We should have brought that up sooner, because that is obviously a strong component of the mystery of this entire season. And, we like those kind of things that, like, you get a little hint here and a little hint here, and it's not a coincidence, because there's no way that two completely different things could be playing that same tune. So that's a good one. And that is the fun stuff that they do in the writer's room, where they're like, okay, so we'll drop this here, we'll drop that there, and it'll all come together.
And the Federation is the through line. It's got to be, because the alien people that were taking care of the plants were part of the Federation. The Adira symbiont was a part of the Federation at one point through their host. So the Federation is the through line, and then the ship of the nebula is Federation as well.
I wonder if the Federation ship that they find will be one that was transported through time through like 800 or 900 years, and it's a legacy. It's captained by a legacy character, like it's Captain Sulu, or it's Captain Geordie LaForge, and they were presumed gone and missing starting in 2395 or something like that. That would be pretty awesome.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Captain Kirk.
That could be it. I mean, I don't know where they're going to go with it. It could also be the Discovery crew themselves, another version of them.
Right.
Sure.
That would be interesting too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think we had a lot of fun today. I think we're about 0 for 10 on jokes, but maybe
Mike is 0 for 11.
0 for 11. Oh, so we're getting better.
Yes. Because that last one counted too.
Yeah.
So beyond all that, please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/the7th-rule. Subscribe, share this with your friends, post in groups, tweet about it. Tweet at your favorite actors and tell them how great they are. And be nice to each other, right?
Mhm.
Whoa, what is that? Look at that.
They're flying by.
It is,
That's the top of my computer, actually.
yeah.
Now we give a little shout out, love, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yes.
That is Abyssinian
that's-
Kiosk. That's Cirroc's sister's online store. We also include that in the description box below. Lots of really cool designs and products there. Check it out. Is that one of her creations on your shirt, Cirroc?
Yeah, this is one of her creations.
I
This
knew
is
it.
cute.
I could recognize her style.
Yeah, she has her own kind of signature now.
It's gorgeous. Who are you wearing today, Melissa?
I'm wearing, I don't know, who made this lovely comfy sweater that's cozy, but it's cold in my house, so.
Yeah, it's getting chilly.
Yeah. Yeah, it was down to like, I think 78 degrees today.
But my
You got it tough.
place it is so, I don't know, it stays cool very well. In the summer, it stays cool. In the winter, it's colder than it is outside. So,
all right. Well, everybody, make sure to comment down below. Let us know how you feel about all this. Let us know what your favorite joke was. The song choice of next week, Osira, what's it going to be? Saroo's catchphrase. Let us know all that good stuff. And that's about it. So we do want to give a very special thanks to a group of individuals that are warm and fuzzy, kind of like Giorgio mentioned Colbert was. She said, for a warm and fuzzy human, you sure have cold hands, which I thought was funny. Special thanks to Carmen Shamwell, PJ Thomas, TJ Jackson-Bey, Bill Victor Arucan, who we saw, by the way, yesterday on set. Great, fun sci-fi shoot out in North Hollywood. Bill. Awesome.
Fun working with you, man. No.
Miss Yvette Blackmon, Dennis Koch, Homer Frizzell, Eve England out in Wales, Hawaii, Dr. Marie Segal, Titus Mohler, Tim Baum, Susan V. Gruner, Rex A. Wood, and Robert Weissburg. Thank you all very much. And everybody at home, always remember the seventh rule.